that's better. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on over here.
It's the final countdown. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, we are. Wait, 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 wait for it. Wait for it. Wait, wait, wait. There we go. We are officially live. Happy Friday. Financial Aid Friday is finally in session. So many years on my feet to get this to happen because this guy right here is so hard to get. He's a very busy person. So I have the one and only, the great and only financial aid wizard and only Sam. You
I don't know
probably
about
wonder who Sam is. You know that financial aid person I've been talking about all them days, all them months. You know this guy right here. Don't let him fool you. Don't let that fool you. Don't let him fool you. He knows a great deal. And so um I'm just gonna talk a little bit for him. Sam has a great deal of financial aid experience. Sam helped me with my financial aid. Oh, first, real quick. Real quick. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Disclaimer. Remember, the videos presented here are for informational purposes only. For me and Sam, we are only speaking from our experience. It is your best interest to, follow up with a financial aid specialist at your institution, an academic advisor, or any specialist that we talk about, come across. Please follow up with that person at the institution. We are only speaking from our experience once again. You see it? You see it? I'm going to play it in court if I see you in court. So think about it before you come get us. All right. So Sam is my financial aid person. Well, when I was in school, Sam helped me a great deal at my 2-year college. As you see, we both have our associate's degrees. When I bridged over to Valdosta State, guys, he was the person doing my financial aid. Still, I did not even go to the financial aid person at Valdosta State University. Respectfully, they didn't do nothing bad. It's just, I said, "Can you help me?" He was like, "Yeah, I can still help you as long as I got your information." It was that simple. Um, so he has a great deal of experience. I'm gonna let him take it away a little bit, but I'll be that person just, like in the song, I'm like the ad lib, just like 14 years, like, yeah, all that extra, just you got it, Sam. You got it. I'm be quiet. You got it. You got it.
Well, man, you tell me what we're talking about. We got it's a very broad subject, man. So
Oh, I got some stuff. Trust me, I got a few things. I'm pretty sure I got the most basic question that everybody want to ask.
okay,
What is financial aid? But we ain't gonna ask that yet. How
oh,
many how many years of experience do you have in financial aid first?
um, ooh, this November will be what is 26? 11. It'll be 11 years this November. Um,
11 years. It's
11
crazy.
years in all 11 in financial aid. That's why I'm bald. Ain't? That's the reason I don't have any hair now because I pulled all of it out. Um, I worked in the 2 years space, the 4 year space, public, private, professional, Georgia,
Mhm.
Alabama, one school in Texas.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
I've covered a lot of bases in those 11.
Mm.
You know, that's kind of where I am.
That's where you are right now.
That's where
Humbly speaking, respectfully, right?
if that's how you want to call it.
I I know I'm throwing some interviews at you real quick. So Um, I say this all the time. I say financial aid, because we did an interview before, and then it's like financial aid is for everybody. Most people think financial aid is for poverty people, low income people, but it's really for everybody to apply to. So you want to spill the beans on that for us real quick before I go into this topic we're gonna talk about this workforce Pell grant and stuff or whatever they got going on with this.
Yeah. So, and you're right in a nutshell. So financial aid can be for everybody if they
Hmm.
so choose to go that route. Um, the reason you hear schools always say, everybody need to fill out a FAFSA, everybody need to fill out a FAFSA, is because it tells us what and how much you qualify for. So even if you don't qualify for Pell, which is just one part of the FAFSA, there's many other parts too. Um,
Mm.
just because you don't qualify for Pell or think you don't qualify for Pell doesn't mean you can't qualify for something else. Now on the federal side, you may only qualify for loans. That is true, but
Mm.
that doesn't mean you can't get institutional aid or third party aid or something like that. You still may have room in your budget to get additional aid that's not federal.
So
So,
what's not to cut you? What's third party aid
like third party scholarships, because
through the school or through somebody else?
either way, because it
Oh.
depends on how the scholarship is paid. So, some schools, well, if it's an institutional scholarship, they have two
Mm-hmm.
ways they can go. It can either be actual hard money that's coming from somewhere else, like an endowment or something,
Right.
or they can waive the tuition. It just depends on how the policy is set up at the school. If it's a
They're them
third party
policies.
scholarship, those honestly typically go through either the financial aid office or the bursar's office.
Mm-hmm.
But you, in most cases, or in some cases, you have to have room in your budget from financial aid to see if you can get that money added to your account. Some people don't care about the budget. Some people do. It just depends on where the money's coming from.
Some people don't care about the budget.
Some people don't care about the budget. Some people say, "Hey, here's $5,000. This money go to the student,
Mm-hmm.
whether they quote unquote need it or not. We're awarding it to them. They can do what they want to do with it." That's some of them. There are
Ah.
some that say, "Hey, if this student has scholarships already covering their tuition, our scholarship is tuition only. So if their tuition is already covered, you need to run me that check back because
So they so they couldn't use it for like because they tie in the
Mhm.
meal plans and the
Housing,
housing into the
yeah,
tuition. So would that count toward that or would that be separate?
it depends on how the school got it set up. Um,
God, it's all
most
depend on the school.
it's a lot depending on the school. That's why I always tell people, like when people ask me financial aid questions, I'm like, I can tell you like the general consensus, but you need to
Yeah,
follow the school because I don't know every school's policy. Um,
exactly.
I know at one of the schools that I worked at in the past, um, if they were if the bursar's office was told that this money could only go toward tuition and they
Hmm.
had a housing bill, they had to send the money back.
Hmm.
But if they go to a school where they say, hey, the tuition is covered, but the fees aren't, then that scholarship can pay the fees, but they still would probably have to send a portion of it back. It just depends.
Yeah, see, every time I tell people it depends on the school.
It depends on the school.
Depends on the school. They want to take your credits. It depends on the school. That's why you need to be in the articulation agreement. Because I'm telling you, they'll be like, nah, you gonna retake that. We need that money. Just retake
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
it.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Working to get somebody who be dealing with that on a higher level. And them transfer credits and stuff. They gonna probably be like, I can't do an interview. I don't want students getting me. I can't do
No,
it.
no.
I can't do it. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's just us. Trust me. It's only me and the 1 million. I always say us and our 1 million subscribers and our million views. I
Yeah,
told the kids that when I spoke at the Boys and Girls Club recently. I said, yeah, y'all need to check the YouTube out because we got like 1 million subscribers. We generate like 500,000 views. Y'all behind the curve. These people they listening, saving money in college. They was like, for real? I said, no, I'm just messing with y'all. I said, but we coming though. We coming though. I said, we coming though.
it's a process, man.
So I got the U.S. Department of Education up. Of course, Sam knows this site probably like the back of his hand. I know I was on it a lot in graduate school. Very credible. As I tell you guys, I only try to find credible websites or some opinions. Some people have some good opinions, when we go on LinkedIn. Um, so Sam, of course, this is the U.S. Department of Education issues proposed rules to implement Working Families Tax Cuts Act's workforce Pell Grants.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give we'll go back and forth, like we rapping, spitting some over the mic. Let me spit you some off the dome. All right. Now look, so I've been listening to Linda.
Uh-huh.
I've been listening to Nicholas Kent or reading. And I really I don't understand the workforce Pell Grant because we already know, like at 2-year colleges, at least, from my Georgia perspective, right, that you already get like some financial aid help if you need financial aid help to do your the work. Okay, let me backtrack. When I hear workforce Pell Grant, I hear trades. That's what I hear. HVAC, carpentry and stuff, workforce things. And students can already use like financial aid if they're, like I said, if they're going to use it or pay out of pocket. But in this case, use financial aid to pay for their trade pretty much. So I don't get what this does, I guess, in a nutshell. And the first way I'm gonna start it off, and feel free to trump me in some way if I come at this question the wrong way. Are they going to be using a different financial aid, or within financial aid, a different like Pell Grant, Zelle or something with this workforce Pell? Help me out here.
Okay, so one, I'm just gonna be completely honest, they haven't figured all this out yet.
Wow. Okay, so what I be reading when I be confused, I actually be confused for some reason because
you confused because they confused. So so workforce Pell, you have to split it. So you have credit and you have non-credit.
Here we go. Credit. I had a question like this on YouTube. Somebody asked this. Actually, keep going. I'm gonna pull it up. Actually, what the question was.
Yeah. So credit is credentialing hours. So the stuff that we took to get our degrees: English, math, psychology, whatever. As long as you can earn credit for it toward a degree, even if it's a trade like automotive or welding or something like that, that's for credit. That's what's eligible for financial aid as of today. Non-credit usually falls under either workforce development or something like that. Each state has a different name for
it. But that's like the trades though, right? Like the carpentry, the HVAC, stuff like that. Or it could be regular classes.
Well, that's the thing. The trades fall under both. That's where it gets tricky because you could get an HVAC certificate for credit by going to any trade or technical or community college, but you could get a shorter certificate in HVAC so you can get to work quicker if you go through workforce development. So it's really a timing thing. So that's why they say workforce Pell is for short programs. Because if a program is too short, let's just say if it's, 9 credit hours, it'll never qualify for Pell because it doesn't meet the threshold for gainful employment. So you can't use it for credit. So because it's so short, so you have to put it under the non-credit column. That's where workforce Pell comes into play. So workforce Pell is going to say, hey, for this set list of programs, at least that's how it's worded now, you're going to qualify for Pell Grant to pay for these classes so that you can get a certificate so that you can get in the workforce quicker. Whereas if you were just trying to get that HVAC certificate at the school through the credit route,
take your time.
It might take 2 or 3 semesters, just depending on the program, because it has to be a certain length to qualify for financial aid. So that's where this is coming into play.
Okay.
And also on top of that, the states, this is kind of going back to the thing they're doing at the Department of Ed, where they're trying to push a lot of power to the states. The states have to come up and approve the curriculum for they don't have to come up with it. The state has to have approving power over the programs so that Pell can cover them. So it's a lot. So you're going to see a lot of people going back and forth with these programs, deciding what's going to stay, what ain't going to stay, what's going to work, what's not going to work, because all of this has to be in place, supposedly, by July 1st.
Yeah, about 2026 July.
Yeah, so you have to. So the schools on the school level, they have to get the curriculum approved. Then the state approving agency, whatever state you're in, like I work in Alabama, so that's 8. But then in Georgia has their own approving agency too. Then it has to go up to SACS, which is regional accreditation. Then we could talk about workforce Pell. So it's a whole process.
And that's the thing. They're trying to change the accreditation too, though.
They are trying to change. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why you see the notice of proposed rulemaking, that if this was a normal thing that was that was, I guess, thought about in the amount of time. They
Yeah.
see this just came out a few days ago,
They posted this. Well,
March the 6th.
March 6th. Yeah,
So this
I've been saving it for this moment.
right. So this should have come out months ago because the schools in the states can't make the policy until the official rules are in place telling them how the policies have to go. So in a nutshell, they're kind of at a standstill.
Hmm.
Well, not a complete standstill. It's still stuff they can do, but
Yeah.
it's not as formulated, I guess I should say, as it could be. So
Hmm.
it's going to be a lot of ups and downs with workforce pay between now and July. So we're going to see how that goes because because they just had the FSA conference
Yeah.
ago, and there was a lot of I didn't go, but a lot of my director friends in the state went, and they told me what was said and all that stuff, and it was a lot of confusion there too.
Hmm.
And so, it's just some stuff that has to be ironed out. And it could change. We talking about this today, tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow because it's Saturday, but Monday they could release something else, and it'll be different again. Like you never know.
And then so how students, because parents, guidance counselors, we already know they are not aware of this. Like you have to be like, I guess like us, a little nerdy to care about these changes to come. Because even people who work in the college with us, right? We already know they're not paying attention to this until it hits, until they're at a conference and they're like, all right, so I don't know if you all heard, but there's been changes from the Department of Education and the changes are sweeping in. So my question is, how can the outside, the teachers, parents, and I guess someone who's just trying to find out, we'll just go with that. How can they be prepared for this? Is there anything they could do, or they just have to sit and just let this play out?
Well, now this, I don't know if this was their intention, but
Yeah.
this is targeted more so for people either already in the workforce or trying to go directly into the workforce. So
Mm,
this won't really. I'm not gonna say it won't affect high school graduates going straight in
right.
because some high school grads want to go straight to work. So
Yeah.
could affect them. But for the most part, this is about like training and certification and getting your foot in the door so
And
you can do what you need to do. So that's what
mm,
that's where the angle is. But on the flip side of that, once this gets done, it's gonna open because Pell, if we're looking at it on the business side instead of education,
yeah.
Pell is revenue. So the schools are gonna promote it because they want that revenue.
They want to, yeah, because they want to meet that quota and stuff. Because they meet the quota. I know usually it's a quota that you have to do or play along with if you want to get the money.
They want. I can't remember. It's no. I can't remember how they worded it, but it's gonna be like they're gonna keep track of like job placement or something like that. I can't remember, but it's gonna be metrics tied to this through the Department of Labor. So
Are you
it's
you talking about them cutting the programs and stuff? What they've been talking about recently, like cutting programs that's not producing a return on investment. That's
mhm,
that type of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all tied together. So
Yeah.
that's why they're not putting so much emphasis through the Department of Education because a lot of this is going to be through the Department of Labor. So
Yeah. Okay. That's making sense now. That's making sense now.
yeah.
That's making sense now.
So it just now I believe just me personally in my opinion once
Yeah.
this is all ironed out and we get a nice easy to follow format and all that stuff, I think the schools are going to kind of take it from there because honestly now there are some things with financial aid with Congress that I agree and disagree with, but in a nutshell, workforce pay isn't horrible. It's
It didn't seem horrible. It didn't.
yeah, I mean it's a good
It's
idea giving Pell to those shorter programs. I just don't know how they're going to implement it. And usually that's where my issue come in. The issue is not what they do, it's how they do it.
yeah, because they never worked in higher ed, so they think it's just a turn on switch. I guess
Yeah.
that's like the higher ups never understand that. They just think it's a switch. You just turn the switch on, and everything is good and okay.
I learned that when they did FAFSA simplification because,
Fast
you
with
know,
simplification. What's that? What was that? Is that they still do that? What? Help me out.
so that was an act. I can't remember if it was Obama or Trump the first time. It was one of the two. They
Let's
passed.
use the internet. We got the internet right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, what is it called again? FAFSA.
Um, put under what administration was the FAFSA Simplification Act?
All right, I'm gonna use the click. You know how it's hard to type when you got somebody looking at you. You want to impress them a little bit.
Man, look, you can keep them key.
Did I type it right? What
Yeah,
administration?
it was enacted
That
in
was
2020.
enacted into law, but we want to know it was enacted. Hold on, if I'm not mistaken, enacted is like it was signed into law pretty much, right? But he didn't initiate it.
Well, yeah, let's see.
Let me see.
Because Congress passed it. I just can't remember what year they passed. Okay, it was during the Trump administration.
Okay.
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 So what they did was they made the FAFSA shorter. It went from over 100 questions. Oh, there it is. Went from 100 questions down to 36. It expanded Pell. It got rid of some of the questions on the FAFSA that caused people problems.
Yeah.
For example,
I remember. I think hold on. Let me see. Yeah, 2020. Because I was a part of that when I first got. Yeah, I came in 2017 summer, but technically I started 2017 fall, like really doing the financial aid. And so that's when I first dealt with it. And it looked like a lot. I didn't deal with it because I had my mama with me. I know you was helping us a lot, but yeah.
That's back
And
to
it was on paper. I think it was on paper at that
I
time.
like what they did. I don't like how they did it. Because
you like that they cut it down, but you don't like how they went about it.
so they cut it. They cut out the SNAP questions, the high school completion well, not high school. What thing called? The selective service question. That was actually one of the first things to go. Selective service went before everything else did. So they did all of that. So it made it simpler for the student, which is good. But it made it horrible on the side of the school because there was stuff, much like now, there was stuff that was set up that wasn't fully implemented yet that caused problems with the FAFSA. So, it's a revolving cycle. So that's what I mean. Like, they do stuff, people, and I know they have like an education appropriations, like an education committee or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want it, but like, it was a good idea. I'm glad they did it because it made my job a little easier. It's as far as helping students, but as far as processing it, it was a nightmare for a little while. Now it's gotten better now, but it was horrible.
And then you made me think about it. Since we talking about it, so I had a person in the live stream beforehand before I got you on, Sam, for these Fridays coming up in the future and stuff, and the person who was in here, of course, G is a day one. G has been busy though. And G was talking about how he shopped around at schools. What time it is? Okay, we still got time before you have to, step off real quick. So G was talking about how he shopped around at schools with his financial aid. Because apparently I've been learning a little bit. I don't know how accurate this is. So this will be really good. Well, all this has been good, but this is really good, I feel like. So apparently it seems like what I read some schools, like schools are talking, but I don't get caught up in I treat it like the stock market a little bit, Sam. Like you can't believe everything the president says. You can't believe everything an institution says because they're going to say things to get you to come to their school. You got to treat it kind of like, I didn't say that was the truth, but I did mention that, I used them variables of possibly and da. And so with the shopping around, it seems like you get more money. So I guess we can start from we can do every class really, like low income, middle class, high income. So starting from low income, it seems like if you go to if you apply to schools at Ivy or top tier schools, or we'll just start with top tier and work our way, as we talk and conversate, it seems like you get more money through financial aid. That's what it seems like when you apply to these top tier schools.
It depends. You can hear me say this a lot. It depends on the school. So
Right.
I'm gonna use
We could throw Yale. I be saying Yale, Harvard. I be getting on them. You want to do Yale?
So
Because Yale
okay, so
actually dropped something recently about that too.
they did. I'm gonna use, was it Emory? I think it was.
Emory did it too, I think. Yeah, Emory did something similar too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use. I don't want to say it's Emory if it's not, but one of the schools
Mm-hmm.
just recently said if you make less than $200,000 a year,
I
you
think
can go to
yeah.
school for
Let me
free.
see.
I
Yeah,
think it was Emory, and I think it's supposed to start in the fall of 26, but I'm not 100% sure.
Emory make less than 200K.
Yeah.
Yes, it's called the Emory Advantage Plus or something. I think that's what they called it. Emory will be tuition free for students whose families earn $200,000 or less.
Yeah. So
You was realizing I was like, yeah, that's what
yeah. So if you and Emory is not a cheap school.
it is at all, right?
It is not cheap at
And
all.
they private too, right?
Yeah, it's a wonderful, it's an amazing school, but it is not cheap.
I think
Um,
they're private. Let me see real
so
quick.
you have schools doing stuff like that, whereas you may have, your local, or not even local, your other state schools, like Georgia State, Georgia Southern, whatever. They're not offering
Yeah,
that.
they're private.
So that's something you have to look at because a lot of those bigger schools like Emory and Duke and
Mm-hmm.
NYU and all these big schools,
Yeah.
you have scholarship endowments where they can
Mm-hmm.
afford to give that stuff away. Where a state school who's
Yeah. Like
funded
Valdosta State, right?
like Valdosta State or Columbus State, they
Yeah.
can, not saying that they can't give away scholarships, but they can't do
They're
that.
gonna, they're gonna be very selective who they give it to though, right? I'm assuming.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so is it better for a kid coming out of high school? We're talking about low income students right now. We're gonna work our way up. So is it better for low income students to apply to bigger schools out the gate so they can have more money to go to school potentially?
It
Because
depends.
I like to budget the money and make sure I'm good per semester.
Yeah. Now I would say that, I mean this with all my soul. If you don't know what you want to do, because a lot of them don't. If you
Right.
don't know what you want to do, there's no need for you to go to a big school wasting your full time and your money. Go to
Hmm.
a 2-year school.
Okay.
Take general classes because those
Right.
classes go anywhere. So even if you don't know what you want your major to be, you can take an English, you can take a math, you can take
Right.
biology, you can take intro to computers, you can take
Right.
anatomy or biology, whatever the case may be.
Whatever the case might be, he is not biased. He been
Yeah,
around the block. He already
yeah.
said in the beginning of the live stream. So
So just take those, and then while you figuring out what you want to do. Now after that, if you want to go to Emory or another big school, then
yeah.
go. Because now you know what you want to do. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many students I see, include myself to a point many years ago. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just know I wanted to graduate.
Hmm.
And while that seems optimistic, when you have a degree plan in place, that can be very bad because now you're taking things that you either don't need or you're taking classes that you don't want to take because you're trying to stay on this certain track because you heard you should do this or you heard you should do that or your advisor wasn't the best or you had too good of an advisor, they tell you what to take, you just don't want to take it. So it's, if you need some time to figure yourself out,
Yeah.
that's what though I'm not gonna say that's what the 2-year schools are for, but that's the best option at the time because I would rather pay $800, $900 a semester.
Y'all, hey, those 2 years in Alabama are they got some good prices out there
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm saying. So
my goodness,
if you want to pay, I mean, well, not 800. I'm sorry, $1,200 a semester.
I'm following. It's
You
still
know,
better than like you
it,
said.
some schools are $1,200 a credit. So
Hmm.
you know, it's
Crazy, right?
I would. That's what I would say because some people don't know. They may get to a university and realize that they want to be a mechanic or work
Yeah.
in HVAC.
Yeah.
So now unless you took core classes, you wasted your time taking those other classes because they're not going to count.
They're
So
not
now
gonna
you're going
count.
back and you've already wasted this money. So now you're going back to do what you really want to do.
And
So
then that's my next one real quick before we go to the middle class because middle class people get it bad. Um, how does that work? So somebody, let's say somebody does go, since we got Emery on the screen. Emery, when I talk bad about you, I respect you and your things you do. I like you a little bit. You know, I'm open to collaboration. But let's just say Emery, right? We got a student, he was like, I like the first semester, but like you said, I want to be in that fall semester. Well, he said fall semester went good, but I want to do a trade, you know. So I want to transfer to a 2 year for spring. I'd be wondering, like, do they financial aid shift? Like, how that works, Sam? Do they just get stuck with that financial aid they already use? They're supposed to use for that year, or like, what's the repercussions of doing that? Like, going to a 2 year after going from Emory to a 2 year, like, what that looks like for them potentially. If I
So
ask that question right,
so financial aid, as far as
Sam is looking at his dog. If you're wondering, everybody, he is
that's
looking at his dog.
she, she herself. Um, Financial aid is going to be financial aid. So if you
Hmm.
qualified from the FAFSA, of course. So now
Yeah.
the money that you get on the FAFSA, so that's your loans and your payout,
Hmm.
regardless of what school you go to, that the SAI is going
Yeah.
to be the same. So that's not going to change. What
What
will
is a SAI? You talking that code again? You talking that talk? You talking?
so prior to I've been so many years, I think it was 24, 25. Prior to
Yeah.
that, it was called EFC, Estimated Family Contribution. When they did
Oh,
FAFSA
EC.
certification,
Oh
they
yeah,
changed
yeah,
it to
yeah.
SAI, which is Student Aid Index. So it's the same thing.
Oh,
They changed the name.
okay.
It basically tells how much you're going to qualify for from your FAFSA because FAFSA is only federal. It
Right.
covers state and federal application, but as far as deciding how much money you're going to get,
Federal.
it's only for federal. So
Federal.
there's no state, there's no institution. The state decide how much money you're gonna get if you're gonna get it from them, and the institution
Hmm.
decide how much money you're gonna get if you get it from them.
But it's
So,
all in that one application, right? When I'm doing my financial aid,
exactly.
didn't know that. Didn't know the state was included in that.
Yeah, like in Georgia, for example. So if you want to apply for Hope,
Yeah.
Hope has its own application through the Georgia Student Finance Commission. But
Yeah. I
if you do
learned
your
that when I was doing a little
FAFSA,
research.
right? But if you do your FAFSA, that covers your application for federal and for Hope.
Right. Because every
So
state is different, so they probably
every
have their
state
own
is different.
website. Like I be saying that I call it like a secondary. I haven't came up with a word for it yet. But you know, like I always say in Georgia, they got the Hope Scholarship, right? Like we call it Hope,
Yeah, the Hope
it,
Grant and the Hope Scholarship.
Hope Grant Hope Scholarship in Georgia, and
Mhm.
then North Carolina might have like I don't know,
They
Bumblebee
have I can't
Bumblebee
remember the
Grant.
name.
What you say?
They have one in North Carolina. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it's something similar to ours, right? And then
Uh,
like every state has their own like secondary, their own state like money like that you get from the pot. And some states don't have one. Because I think Alabama, did y'all add one yet? Or Alabama hasn't added one yet?
no, Alabama. Well, Alabama has some form of state aid. It's just
Yeah.
not as big as Hope because Alabama doesn't have a lottery.
Yeah. So good old Alabama.
Yeah, they don't have a lottery, so it's not as much money flowing through as with Hope.
So I'm middle income. I'm a middle income student.
Mhm.
Right. I always think about middle class because Alice was kind of middle class when she went to school. And she was in a weird situation where we already know taxes play a role in this and what your family
Mhm.
makes and stuff. But
Mhm.
middle income, I don't even think Alex qualified for the Pell, essentially.
That
And
sounds
so
right.
and so it's like if you don't get the scholarships, right? You know what I mean? I'm like pay out of your pocket and go to a school you can afford and work a part-time job and live on less than you make. That's kind of like my methodology with it because middle class is like what do you do? I got a strategy for them, but middle class is like, so if they went to a bigger school, once again using Emory, because Emory said, hey, your family household makes $200,000 or less. So in this case, if Alice went to Emory and got into Emory and undergrad, she could have got some financial aid money in some form of fashion, right? In this instance, right?
Yes, but she would have got it from the school, not from the FAFSA.
Mm.
Yeah, see this like this 200,000 that they're talking about.
Yeah,
That's something they're doing through the institution. They ain't got nothing to do with the FAFSA. Now you have
right.
to have a FAFSA on file, I'm sure, because they need to know how much money your family made. That's how they find it out.
Mm.
But this is that is institutional money. So if she was at
Mm.
Emory and she got that 200, got the money to pay her tuition because her family made less than 200,000, she would technically get more aid at Emory than she would at, let's just say, Columbus State.
Right. This is so dangerous though. Like this is really dangerous. Like I'm just thinking like, imagine having a decent GPA like a 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually in your favor. Like if you in that instance, you're middle class to like, hey, I kind of want to get, I kind of not got to, but I kind of got to get into this school because um unless you got other options like you applying to it, like because they got a good offer, they can help pay for my schooling at Emory. And
Mm-hmm.
then like I don't know about 2-year colleges. It depends on like what kind of deal I guess get cooked up. But we know 2 years don't do nothing like that normally. They just
Well, two
they're
years
so
on,
cheap, they're so affordable. It's
yeah,
like
they're cheap enough anyway. So
like bro, we already giving you the biggest discount in history, probably. Like they giving us like back in the day Black Friday sales right now with 2-year college prices. Like I can't, it's unbelievable. Like, most people haven't caught on to the rhythm yet. So
yeah.
okay. And then I guess if you're high income, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really matter because I guess well, we know you can still need the money
Well,
if you high income, but you
it
probably
really,
didn't seen it all. So I don't want to say
I've seen you, yeah. But you know what, though? The people with the highest, well, not all of them, but a lot of the people that have those really high SAIs who
hmm
make like three, four, five, $600,000, they
yeah.
be the one that financial aid offers the most because the parents don't want to pay it.
You said they get, hold on, say it one more time.
They like the ones that be the parents make, three, four, like high six figures.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
they be in that financial aid offer just as much as the middle and low player because the parents don't want to pay it.
Huh.
Just because they
So
got money don't mean they want to spend it. So if they can get scholarships or they can get something to pay for it. I mean, I
mhm.
get it. If I didn't have to pay for it, I don't want to pay for it either. But
Mm.
you know,
That's
in that sense,
interesting.
there's really no differentiation between the students because everybody's trying to get something for cheap or for free, which I get.
And then real quick, you've been around in the game longer than me. I got a question recently about I asked around, asked some peers about it, and they
Mhm.
all said the same thing. Like, students been asking questions about college applications and how they get into schools. Now, me and you both know, Sam, that this is college applications is I feel like very, off the statistics, not even going off statistics or whatever. I just feel like college applications are rigged. Me personally, we already know. I don't think that's a secret. At least when you're trying to compete at bigger schools, like 2-year colleges, open admission at most schools, you should be good. You should get in with no problem. But if you're trying to go to like the Georgia Techs, the what's another big school on top of my head, the MITs, the
Mhm.
y'all get the idea. The schools you see on March Madness, the schools you see in the national playoffs, that's how I always put it. These schools have application processes and students are actually having problems with filling them out properly, the applications. But the applications ask some simple questions, I feel like.
Mhm.
But I understand it might not be simple to them, but you got any spill on that about them college applications?
Well, it depends on what part of the application we're talking about.
Hmm.
Because um, college applications, historically, they've always been, I don't want to say naturally, I don't want to say difficult because
Mm-hmm.
you're applying to go to college. It's not like you know, I don't know, filling out a random worksheet somewhere. Like,
Right.
it's designed to be like, okay, we need to see if you can get through this. Because if you
Yeah.
can't get through this, then how you gonna pass classes?
Huh.
But that's how some schools think. So they make their application really, really strenuous. So you got to do the
Oh.
application, you got to do an essay, you got to have this, you got to have that, you got to do this, you got to do that. So they do that to help weed out students. It's this. I give you an example. It's just like going to nursing school. So when you go to nursing school, you have to take prereqs. You know, and they say, okay, if you can't pass AMP1, there's no point in you getting in the program because you gonna fail.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's the same principle. Like
Yeah.
if our school has a rigor that's up here, and our application is probably right here, but you're performing right here,
Hmm.
then there's no point in because you're not gonna get up in. Now that's
That's
how they,
some great. That's a great breakdown of it. That's a great breakdown. I like how you did that. It's like a ladder approach.
exactly. Or some of them call it the funnel. Um,
Huh.
it just depends. But like you say, when you have a school that has open enrollment, they don't really it don't really matter. But when you have these big, let's just say Ivy League schools, for example.
Ivy League, prime example, because we know they want an essay. We know they want some letter recommendations. They probably want you to do extracurricular, whatever. I already know. I can just imagine what they're asking for.
Yeah, because see, and now we got to step out of education and go back over to business because for those schools,
Hmm.
their students are their biggest form of marketing.
Hmm.
So if they have stellar students that they can market and show off to the world,
Yeah.
that's better for them. So
Yeah.
on the business side, because the students see themselves in the students that they already got there. Now you got more students coming in, which is more revenue. So
Mm. And
you
that
that's
okay.
how they promote it.
And that's why I was saying, I was like, dang, what I was saying about the Ivies and the requirements. I had a brain fart, I think. But I guess I was getting at with the requirements. Say what you said again, Sam. I had a brain fart.
About which part, the
The
they
Ivies, the asking
how
for
they
the
want certain students,
essays,
and they want. I mean, they want the best of the best. They want the cream of the crop. They
cream of
want
crop.
students who become president at some point. Like
Boom.
that's what they want.
Boom. That's what it was. I remember when I was working at Georgia Tech, and when I was doing the job, we get kids. Let me see, it's 8:57. So we'll get kids. Actually, we're gonna take a break, halftime break, real quick. Sam has to do something. It's
Well,
almost 9.
well, she not back yet.
Oh, okay. So we good.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
good.
just want to make sure. I want to make sure I was gonna say halftime break. We about to talk about because we got another topic too. If I got some time with you.
Yeah.
Uh, so I remember talking to a woman when I was at Georgia Tech, and I was doing things about summer programs with K through 12, which is ironic.
Hmm.
And a lot of parents would do these summer programs because they think that this will help their kid in the near future, especially the high school, because it's K through 12. So especially the high schools. And depending how you word this, it could help you get into a school. Maybe not Georgia Tech because they know what the program is, but maybe another school that'd be like, they did a summer camp at Georgia Tech. And so once again, guys, it's all about wording. Real quick on that aspect. Whatever you do in life, if you can word that thing up and say you was spending 3 or 4 hours a day organizing, creating spreadsheets and da da da, but it was the most jacked up thing. If you can make it sound good, trust me, words will take you far. That is one thing I learned in education.
Yeah, that's true.
But the woman was like, yeah, I really want my kid to go to get into of course Georgia Tech. That's why she was doing a summer camp. But she asked me, she was like, she asked me a question, I keep it real. Like, will this help them get into Georgia Tech? And I was like, not really. I was like, because Georgia Tech, to get into Georgia Tech, I don't know what the college application is. If they ask for recommendations, though, for example, like a letter of recommendation, from
Hmm.
my experience and, getting into grad school, my undergrad experience was different because I transferred in. So I didn't have to do all the extra stuff applying to Valdosta State. It was like seamless.
Hmm.
But in grad school, I had to have the letter of recommendations. Then I had to write a 1 to 2 page essay about why do I want to be in the program and what I expect to do with this once I get into the program and stuff.
Hmm.
And I told her, I said, you might want to aim for like letter recommendations from politicians, because higher education is very political. Just that little information, because the person who's reading it, like a director or whoever's reading the college application process doing that, they know these heavyweight names like a John Ossoff or in most cases. I don't know. It depends on the school you apply to. Because I learned, Sam, that some schools are Republican heavy or conservative, and some schools are like left. That was new to me being in graduate school. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was crazy. And
Yeah.
so
You get real quick.
I was telling people that, they want to think about that. Like when you get your letter recommendation, try to aim against somebody like Sam as your letter recommendation. Why? Because he has a great deal of financial aid experience working in higher ed. Aim for somebody who has a doctoral and, they've been working in higher ed. Like I feel like getting a higher ed recommendation looks really well from somebody, because I feel like I've been spoiled with it because I've been in higher ed so long. But y'all are some powerful people to use for letter recommendations, because like I said, these people be like, oh, this is an educator from Georgia State University. They got their doctoral and they are a professor. And they saying that we should put you in our school. Like you said, that looks good on the school of the market. And so some people might not have those letter recommendations though, which is kind of crazy, but it still doesn't determine your application. But just some things I feel like helps, because I know it's done by a human at the end of the day when you're trying to get into a college. So I'm thinking like a human is reading this. But I be wondering about that college application stuff, because it's people that run consulting businesses for this. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, do you not know the chances of you getting into this school? Like, go check the College Scorecard. I don't know how, I be saying, I don't know how accurate this College Scorecard is, but I use it. But man, like the Emory, I don't know what their percentage is to get in the Emory, but I believe it's like under 5%, if I'm not mistaken, like getting in straight out of high school. So you telling me this person that you're paying money to in consulting about how to complete an application, college application, you got a 5% chance, like getting in, and y'all paid them this, unless they know somebody there. I don't know. That's a huge risk. Yeah. Huge risk.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna answer this in two parts too.
Just talk to me.
When I was younger, I was in this program called Upward Bound.
I heard of that. Upward Bound is it like a trio program or something?
It's part of trio. So now the area, because I'm from Stewart County. So my area in the state,
that's in Georgia, y'all. Stewart County is in Georgia.
Yeah, it's in Georgia. A lot of trees.
A lot of trees.
I'm a country boy. A lot of trees. The Upward Bound program, well, all the trio services, honestly, in my part of the state were removed for something happened on the federal side. I can't remember. But so now, because it still exists, it just doesn't exist in that part of the state anymore. So every summer, from 9th grade until I graduated high school, every summer I would go to Andrew College in Cuthbert and stay on campus and take my classes to prepare me for the next year. So like going from 9th grade to 10th grade, I would take geometry, English 2, yada, 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 whatever I'm taking the next year. So I did that all through high school. And then when I graduated high school, they had this thing called the Upward Bound Bridge program, where I took college courses the summer after I graduated.
Georgia Tech got something like that, I think, too.
So the pipeline and the reason I say that is because the pipeline starts early. That's why you see schools giving tours to middle school children. They start that pipeline early. I didn't believe it myself, because when I first heard about it, I'm like, why are y'all touring 12-year-olds? They don't care.
Yeah.
But when I did some research and learned the science behind it, I'm like, oh, that's why. Okay, so that's part one. Part two, because they start so early, they're trying to get it in the student's head that if you're trying to do A, B, and C, this is where you need to go. If you're trying to do D, E, and F, this is where you need to go. Because back when I was in high school, many moons ago,
not that many. I'm almost been out for 10 years now, Sam. I'm getting up there.
I want to hear,
I'm getting there.
Look, this year is my 20th reunion.
It's gonna be.
So
it's gonna be 9 for me. It's gonna be 9 for me.
I'm getting up there.
Hey.
So back when I was in school, like now, everybody is trade.
Yeah,
but back when I was in school,
Yeah.
Even in the high school, they had 2 tracks. You had college prep and you had career tech. You had to pick one, or you could do both. But depending on how you were as a student, that determined the path that you were on. That would determine where you would go after high school. So I was on college prep track. So when I got to 12th grade, and I was around at the same time. So when I got to 12th grade and I was applying to schools, they didn't want me to apply to technical schools because they said you're on college track. Now, which is funny because I ended up at Columbus Tech anyway.
Yeah.
But they said you need to apply for, Columbus State, Georgia State, Albany State. You need to apply for all these schools. Great schools. Love them all, especially Albany State.
Right.
But I wasn't given that option, but the people that were doing the tech track thing, they were told the exact opposite. You need to apply for Columbus Tech, Albany Tech, South Georgia Tech. You don't need to worry about a university till later.
These are 2-year colleges, by the way, y'all. 2 years / community colleges. He was
right.
naming.
So it was back then. It was like a very distinct line in the sand that you didn't cross. But see, now they've gotten rid of the tracks. At least in Georgia, they got rid of the tracks. So now everybody kind of just do everything. So when the students graduate, they have more options now than we were presented. I mean, technically we had options back then too. But if your school and your teachers are saying, "Hey, you need to go here," that's where you're gonna go.
That's where you're gonna go. Shoot, they don't even tell some kids nowadays. Some kids be like, "I ain't never met my guidance counselor, and I don't even know what college to go to. I don't even know if I should go to a 4-year or a 2-year. I don't even know the difference between a 2-year and a 4-year."
Right.
And
glad you said that too. A lot of students don't realize that a lot of 2-year schools, they set a very high standard for a few reasons.
Yeah, 2 years do. I tell people it's the hardest.
And not know how to do nothing.
So say one more time, Sam. I was talking over you. Say it one more time.
Oh, my bad. I was saying that
that was my bad.
A lot of 2-year schools have a standard that's up here. Because once you transfer out of that 2-year school and you go to that 4-year school and you'll get to that 4-year school and act like you don't know nothing, then that's gonna look bad on the 2-year school. So you're gonna work while you're at that 2-year school. A lot of people think it's easier. It's not easier.
It's not.
It is not. No. I tell anybody that. I say the stuff I learned at Columbus Tech was on the same level or higher than the stuff that's going on at Columbus State right down the street.
Yeah.
So it's a perception thing.
It is a very perception thing. Do you think that perception will go away though with 2-year colleges and 4 years? Like, do you think there's actually, is it a shift happening? Of course, I say, guys, 2 years are the future. It's a revolution coming. That I think students are going to start doing 2-year to 4-year. Like, that's going to be the move. Like, it's going to be kind of not popular or weird to start at a 4-year. It's like 2 years going to be like, you save money, bridge to 4-year. Everything's good and gravy.
Are we talking just recent high school grads, or we talking students in general?
See, look, that's why I love that you work in higher education. You understand the layers. From that perspective, of course, high schoolers. Of course, I love to cater to the high schoolers. I don't think you want to hear my unpopular opinion about the other students, but of course, high schoolers. But even people who start late, some people might start at 25, 30 and stuff. We already know a lot of them go to 2 years and they're like so not confident, and then they actually be the ones that go and get the bachelor's, the master's, and the PhD. But you never ask them like when they started. You just think they started like when they was 18. But definitely like kids, I get definitely focusing on the kids coming straight out of high school right now or in high school.
Okay, so that depends on where they went to school. And I give you a perfect example of that. So I'm not gonna say the school's name. You from here, so you'll probably figure out who.
Like poverty schools, right?
Well, that and the other side too. Like if you go to certain schools in Columbus,
right,
where I'm at now, those schools they don't even consider sending their students to 2-year school. Like that's beneath them. They're going to Georgia State. They're going to Auburn. They're going to
the brand names, right? As I like to say.
That's where they're going. Now to the other schools, they consider all options. They consider those big names too. but you can also pack up that car and go to Columbus Tech and be just as good over there too.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the school. It also depends on the timing. Anybody will tell you that when a country, and now we're back on politics again. When the country's in a recession, or if it feels, because recession is a very specific thing. But if you feel like it's in a recession, job market not doing well, yada yada yada.
People are going to go to the 2 year because it's more affordable.
Exactly. So
right.
when the economy is not doing great, 2 years skyrocket because people are trying to do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But when the economy stabilizes again, that falls off. So you have to take that into consideration. And then the second part is generational. So now, because of my age group, because I'm a millennial, millennials, a lot of us didn't have children. I don't have. So we've gotten to this peak now from I'm thinking started last year, from last year up until 2030. There's going to be a big decline in high school graduates across the nation because we didn't have children.
Oh, yeah.
So that means schools are now competing more for students. That's why you see a lot of 4-year schools now leaning heavily into trades and dual enrollment.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
Yeah, because about 4 or 5 years ago, a university didn't care about no dual enrollment student.
Then we talked about that yesterday on the live screen too. Like dual enrollment, was it yesterday? The day before that, dual enrollment wars on Wednesday. How they're ramping up a little bit. That's actually an article.
And that's why they're ramping up, because the overall population across the country is because we didn't have children. We're still not having children. So
it's gonna be tough.
I got 2 classmates now. Their kids are graduating this year. But it's out of my class. It wasn't a huge class, so I'm down in the country. But still, only 2 of them got children that's graduating. Most of my class didn't even have. Well, about half of my class didn't even have kids.
That's crazy.
So you have to look at that too. So it's a lot. I promise you, it's a lot of science behind the scenes of why schools do what they do. If a school do something that's real uncharacteristic for them,
going against their mission and values. Going against the mission and values. So, what's your? Oh, man, that's so many things. We talk about so many things. All right, hold on. So many things. All right. Can you? Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Let me see. So, guys, if y'all wondering, we be having these conversations. We had these conversations all the time before. And then, how most things start. You have these conversations. You be like, damn, we should. I ain't gonna lie. We never said we should talk about this on camera. We never said that. But we can. Yeah, so it just flows. It helps you save money too. Like, honestly, all I'm gonna say is this: if I had this coming out of high school, I would have felt more comfortable about going to college, because I would have had this information from freshman year to senior year. Then I would have been like, oh, you're not gonna run game on me. And it takes a load off your guidance counselor. They could just play this and then walk out the classroom and let y'all watch it. But y'all high schoolers, they gotta watch y'all because y'all get on y'all phone now. So but for real though, your guidance counselor, your board of who the board of, I'm about to say the board of education. That's that all right? Your high school, your school district board, that's what I meant to say. Your school district board, they need to play this. Teachers need to play this. Guidance counselor need to play this. Organization need to play this. Like, y'all know them hip hop songs. Y'all need to play this, because things are changing. College students are getting paid. Well, athletes. And if you want to advocate for yourself on getting paid, you need to tune in here, because you can fight for that. Their schools are going to do what they allow.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, that's loud.
Oh, she barked. Oh, we're barking.
Hold on.
That was Sam dog, little dog barking. Probably heard me talking too loud. I probably scared the poor baby. I'm sorry. But hold on, guys. I love stuff like that when it happens. It just makes the channel so organic. Like, just like
Yeah,
You gonna look back?
She know
Yeah.
what her mama here.
Oh, I'm about to say she okay?
Yes, she heard the front door open.
Oh, you need to step away real quick before we start the next one real quick.
No, go ahead, man. We good.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
We good.
And so, but yeah, guys, you need to play this, man. Like we understand this takes time. We understand higher education is not popular right now, but I always say too, it was a time when the stock market wasn't popular, and then now we see all these stock market channels and crypto channels, and you know what I'm saying, Sam? Like, help me out. Like when you was coming around, you ain't hear about no stock market channels, right? And YouTube been around for a minute. YouTube been around, and stock market, crypto, even politics is popular right now. Politics be getting like 500K, millions of views. So, hit the disc. It's only a matter of time before like higher education steps into that lane. And that's why I feel like right there, like we talked about off camera, Sam. That's why I feel like presidents are going to have to change the swag up. I feel like we're going to start seeing college presidents wear like hoodies, and they're going to have to be a little less formal, more organic, because it's getting kind of cringe to me seeing a college president, executives, VPs constantly come to our school. We are the ones for you. We will make sure that you thrive when you leave. And it's just like, come on, man. I know you don't smile all the time. It's okay. We're in 2026. Dang, almost 2030. I know you don't smile all the time. Yeah. Loosen up. Go crack a beer open. Go do something lay back. Listen. If the board fire you, we got your back. We're gonna fight for you. We can do that.
I am very, and here you can attest to this. I am very honest with my students.
Yes.
I am very honest. I tell them, we're not doing that. No. We're not doing that. That ain't gonna work. Sit down. Stop fussing. You did this to yourself. That's when I do a lot. I'm just honest with them. Now presidents can't be that honest most of the time.
They can't.
Because at the end of the day, the president is the face of the school. So they just gotta do that.
They could be like Donald Trump a little bit though, right?
Well, they have to maintain a certain level. Me personally, I would never aspire to be a college president.
No, I think people don't know. Hey, they get that money. I be telling them on the live screen. Hey, they get that 1.4 million at like that Ohio State president. He just got paid. I think there's some theory on that because he wasn't even there for a year, Sam, and he got promoted to president already. That's just my theory. I think there's some organizational theory right there. I think they plan on bringing him in like 2 years or 3 years in advance.
Who are we talking
about? The Ohio State University, their new president.
Oh, yeah.
Like he wasn't even there for a year, like working, and he stepped into presidency already. I thought that was a little weird, just a little weird.
I mean, I've seen both ways. So
just a little. And then so we got I got an article. So right here, of course, we don't go through the whole thing, but student loan delinquency is back to pre-pandemic rates. But now, because you was talking about that, I was like, it's funny you said recession and stuff, and it made me think I got an article up right here about this. But now delinquency borrowers hold so much more debt, they're saying, right? And the common thing, I went through it a little bit before the live stream, nothing too crazy. Can you see that pretty good, Sam? Or I need to zoom in?
No, I see it.
Okay. And so I guess if I was telling this right, because I hate when they word stuff like that, they throw me off a little bit. Me personally, they throw me off. And when they say getting back to pre-pandemic levels, so are you saying like before the pandemic, right? Before the pandemic. So they were saying like in August 2019, before the pandemic, about 16.7% of student loan holders, including those in repayment and deferment, were at least 60 days delinquent or in default. It says by August 2022, student loan delinquencies hit a low of 2.3%. That's a big drop after the pandemic. It's crazy. I thought it would have been higher after the pandemic, but I guess all them PPP loans, they were paying them off. Hopefully,
it wasn't that. I'm when you finish, I'm explaining to you. I already know where they're going.
Oh, go ahead then. Jump in then. Don't look. Hold on. Wait. Go and jump in. That's what. Hold on. You don't gotta wait. This ain't no official class, but jump in.
Okay, so
Like the movie. Jump
the
in.
reason they say pre-pandemic is because Joe Biden was we got to get back in politics. Joe Biden was a pandemic president.
Okay.
The pandemic started while Trump was in office, but Joe got elected in 2020, and then
Hmm.
when he was inaugurated in 2021, we were in the heart of the pandemic.
Right.
So that's where the timing of the phrase is coming from. So
Mm.
when and this wasn't a Trump problem. This been going on for years before Trump even thought about running.
Before
Yeah.
he even came.
So student loans, the way that they're set up, well, the way that they were set up in 2019,
Hmm.
there were people that were one couldn't afford their payments because the way the payments were set up. Two, the interest was occurring so much that the people could never pay the loans off. So there were people that were paying for loans for 10, 15, 20 years, making payments every month, and their balance is still the same that it was 20 years ago. That was an institutional problem with the Department of Education. So when Joe got into office in 2021, he said, "Hey, we're going to fix this. We're going to give these people relief. We're going to um, what's the word? I
The
can't remember.
COVID relief package.
They were like, we're going to waive the rest of the loans for these people who should have had it discharged already. So that's
Hmm.
like the rate.
Oh, when they was paying, they were cleaning everybody's student loans.
Exactly. That happened
I
under
forgot what
Jeff.
they did call that. What did they call that?
I
Sam, I
can't
think we
remember
got
the
to
phrase.
figure out the name, Sal. We got to figure out the name. It was the
Uh,
dang,
uh,
what was it?
what's the
Biden.
uh,
Oh my goodness, we got to.
I can't remember.
We got to now, real quick. We
Uh,
just got to.
not wave. It's something. It's another
Uh,
word.
Not y'all
Um,
seeing my stuff while I've been researching. Y'all see what I be looking at. Uh,
it's not relief. Uh,
Biden's
loan.
student loan. Oh,
Forgive.
student loan forgiveness. Dang, man,
That's it. Whew,
that was gonna drive us crazy.
I
It's
can
gonna
think of that.
drive.
Okay, so the loans were forgiven.
Yeah.
That's why the rate and delinquency rate went so low. So then on top of that,
Hmm.
Joe introduced the Save Plan, which cut payments down from 10% to 5%. So more people were
Hmm.
going to start making payments because their payments were either low or they didn't have a payment at all.
That was really helpful for people.
Yeah. So now that happened, that was during COVID. And on top of that, while COVID was going on, they put a freeze on interest. So there was no interest occurring on top of that.
Man, they should have been paying that like crazy. I said, if you was in the, I got on to them about that, Sam, when I was live streaming. I said, if you had student loans around that time and Joe Biden had froze that interest or took it away, whatever he did,
Mhm.
you should have been paying that thing like a gazelle right then.
Yeah, it was a lot going on at one time during COVID. Now
Hmm.
we got to go to post COVID. Well, 2025. So the Trump administration shut down the Save Plan, which is why they're going back and forth in the courts now.
Yes.
And
Yes.
because they started back interest again, and they got rid of the Save Plan, now people are back to 2019 again, where they either can't afford the payments or the interest is so high they can't get any relief. So we're
And
essentially
speak of that.
we regressed back to where we were 7 years ago.
Exactly. Because that's exactly like that was the next section of it. They said delinquent borrowers today are carrying more debt. Oh, my bad, y'all. This was written by Brino Braga and Kristen Black. This is by the Urban, I believe it's called the Urban Institute. I don't know if Urban Institute is credible. I think it's more like a media outlet. I don't know if they're left wing, right wing. Like I say, guys, we're independent. I feel like higher education should be independent. I don't get caught up in that. I focus on how we can save money in college and do better and save money and all the good stuff. And so they did put some highlights in here. So guess I can say this is pretty credible. If I clicked around on it, I didn't click around, so I had to go right now based off of opinion because I don't know if they're quoting real data. They're saying data, but I don't know where they get their sources from yet. But I think they pulled it from actually, yeah, like right here, Urban Institute Credit Bureau data. So I guess that's credible. But it depends. You have to really look thorough. So I'm just gonna say it's an opinion right now. But yes, delinquent borrowers today are carrying more debt after you said that. And it was like our analysis, they said their analysis. Our analysis of the Urban Institute Credit Bureau panel shows that compared with 2019, delinquent student loan borrowers in 2025 are substantially more likely to hold other major forms of household debt. And it goes to what I tell people about that. Like if you go straight to a 4-year, y'all know me, be advocate 2-year to 4-year all the way. You know what's going on, gang. And so and so I feel like it hits on everything we talk about, guys. Like, look, they're saying like if you delinquent student loan borrowers are more likely to carry other household debt today. So that means besides your student loans, they already anticipate you're going to have student loans. This is what I be talking about, guys. They are already saying like, look, bro, your chance against student loans is like 90%, maybe 95% chance of getting, maybe 99% chance at this point. The way they just have the conversations. And that's what I didn't like about graduate school. All the articles, most of the college articles in graduate school, at least when I was pulling from like the Georgia State Library or going to find articles, they were talking as if you're going to get student loans and there's no way around it. That was a lot of the articles I was reading. I didn't like that. It wasn't really no prevention ways, no solutions. And so that's why I felt like also that built the confidence on why we're going to be so unique, Sam, because we're actually like giving the students the preventive tools, the parents and whoever wants the information, the preventive tools, how you can afford the student loans. If you can't afford college after going through financial aid, trying to save your money, school not for you. Don't feel like it's being forced on you. Go make some money. Take 1 to 2 years, 3 or 4. You might want to come back at 21. Nobody's going to judge. I'm not going to judge. Yeah. And so, don't overcome. This is the different way of life we're in right now. Like Sam was just talking about. People don't want to have kids right now. Families. No. Like, that's actually one of the. This is a mortgage is part of your family. You usually get a mortgage when you get a house with your family. And they're saying like that's more higher in 2025 than versus 2019. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we're essentially at where we was, what you said, 6 years ago, Sam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, 7 at this point.
7 years. So they're saying like
based on the 2019 thing, yeah.
Share of delinquent student loan borrowers, like look, your credit card is gonna be it's a lot higher, 64% higher. That's auto loan. Yeah, that's auto loan. Auto loan is more higher in 2025, and mortgage is more higher. Everything is getting higher. So what you think the 4 years are going to do? They're going to get higher as well. Like, I don't know why universities raise their prices, but that could be funding reasons, guys. That could be amenities. It's so many variables why our university do it and why the 2 years have it, which is very interesting. It's very interesting. But yeah, Sam, you hit down the head. I jumped in. I'm sorry, I jumped in.
Oh no, you could. Because I saw it happening in real time. Because I was working in financial aid from 2015 to now. So all those changes, all those president changes, all those congressional changes, we getting rid of this, we adding this, we get rid of this. I worked it all in real time. So I know. I saw it firsthand, and it affected a lot of people. But that kind of go back to what we were talking about yesterday. You don't really feel those effects
until later.
Like unless you don't feel the effects until later if it's done correctly. Mm-hmm. So like now, current administration, they sign stuff and they just go.
They just instead of deal with it
the way it's supposed to be. So that's why it seems like things are happening more quickly now than they have in the past. Is because we're kind of skirting around the way it's supposed to be. But in the past, when things were done through Congress the way it was supposed to be, those things took time. And they took time to implement, and they had to be rules written about it, so on and so forth. So when you go from one administration, whether it's if it's a 4-year administration especially, you feel the effects cut off quicker you would from an 8-year administration.
Yeah.
For example, Obama was in office for 8 years.
8.
But he didn't really get on to it because the first 4 years he was focused on healthcare. So he didn't
Mm-hmm.
really get on education until that second term. So
Yeah.
when that second term came around, that's when he started doing stuff with education. So some of his things kind of lingered because he was in office for a while. But then after him, Trump came in office and started making changes too. But his changes actually during that time actually went through Congress. That's why they're still sustainable today, like FAFSA
Mm.
certification. That he didn't just sign that into law. That went through Congress. They approved it. Then he signed it into law. So that's why it's sticking around. When Joe got in office, he did the same thing. He went through Congress, but he was only there for 4 years.
And it's optional when they go through, like, because you saying they went through Congress. They have to go through Congress every time, right?
When they're making laws, well, they're supposed to, yeah, because Congress is the legislation, the legislative branch. They
Right.
make laws. The
They make
president
the laws.
signs the law as the executive branch. He signed it. He'll sign it into law,
Because
but Congress.
Obama's the executive. That's what that let me some people might laugh at me. This is where these 3 stages come in. You
Uh-huh.
got Alex get on to me. I know it, but I always get the first name
Okay.
messed up.
All right,
You
come on.
get
What you got? Come on.
I got I got judicial. I
Okay.
got judicial.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. I think I got it. I got judicial,
Uh-huh.
legislative,
Uh-huh.
and executive.
There you go.
Hey, come
Alex
on.
can't talk about you today.
Hey, she can't get me because I'll be like, man, I always forget that first one. I always forget the first one. So who's on the judicial level though? Like,
The
who is
Supreme
that?
Court.
Oh, Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Why they just don't say that? Why just don't be Supreme, Congress, President? You see, you see how complicated that makes my life?
Oh Lord.
I'm 26. What? I'm 26 years old,
Well,
and
they're
I'm finally like,
well, they're branches. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be because of checks and balances. So if one of those branches get a little too much dip on their chip, the other one come in and be like, put that down. You're doing too much.
mm,
That's what it's supposed to be, which has
mm,
happened before. It's like a lot of the education stuff. Prime example: the Department of Education
yeah.
currently in 2026. The current administration wants to disband the Department of Ed and send the power of education back to the states.
But they got to go through Congress.
Yes, to officially close the department because it was created through Congress during the Jimmy
And,
Carter administration.
and
So
right. And it has
President
to,
Carter put it into play. So
yeah.
he signed it into law, but his Congress enacted it. So because it was an act of Congress to start it, it has to be an act of Congress to end it. So now what he
That
can
sounds
do,
like that's a bar right there.
come on, but what he can do is fire the people that's there.
In
and
the in
make
Congress.
work. No,
You,
in the Department of Ed.
oh yeah. I was about to say that's another way to do it. But then when his administration is over, I'm sorry, Mike. When his administration is over, he could just hire people back or whoever that next person is. If they have a because my thing was, I ain't even gonna lie. My thing about it was, even if you have another Republican president come in, we already know Democrat, they not with it. Even if you have another Republican president, because we know the Republicans have been going at it themselves, and they come in and say, look, we're not getting rid of the Department of Education.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, we're bringing the people back to work there. And like, it's that simple. Like, they just, we wasted 4 years of just delaying things, essentially. Like the accreditation, bump that. But don't we change accreditations every certain amount of years anyway? Or that's never been a thing, changing accreditors.
The accrediting body has been in place for many, many years.
Because Nicholas Kent said something about the creditors essentially have a monopoly on it. That's what he was saying, and there's no competition on that, and that didn't make. For one, I said, wait a minute, I didn't know that you can form an accreditation, and there's a market for this, like money wise. I didn't know that was a thing. I was confused because I'm like, how do you make money from accreditation? I said, I'm uneducated right there. Somebody got to put me on game with that.
So when you go through accreditation, schools, now I don't know how much it is, but schools typically do have to pay to go through accreditation. Now it's not like, it ain't like a private
level stuff.
but you got to pay to play. It's just like if you want to do anything else, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like a for-profit type thing. They just
Yeah.
have to pay an amount to the accredited body. Now, the reason that there's no competition, at least with regional accreditation, is because it's based off of region.
Hmm.
Where your state is determine what accredited body you're under.
Right.
Just like SACS. SACS is
Like
the
we're in
Association
Southern.
of Colleges and
Mm.
Community Colleges.
And that stretches from like Texas, the North Carolina, South Carolina,
Yeah.
the whole South, pretty
Florida,
much.
the whole South is under that. You got that. You got the
Hmm.
Higher Learning Commission, wherever they locate. You got the Northwest people. You got the
Hmm.
California. Like every region has its own thing. So there shouldn't be any competition because where your state is, that determines what region you're under. But now, if you're
Hmm.
an independent accrediting agency, then you can pick and choose who goes in it, and then that can become a problem. Because if you leave the regional accrediting body because of your location and
Yeah.
go to another one based off of your preferences, where do you draw the line? Because now
Hmm.
you're saying basically, okay, well, we're going to start this, we're going to do what we want to do. That may not be necessarily good for the schools. So it's one of those things that people are getting into and don't understand, that have never worked in education before, and
Hmm.
trying to change it. Because why would you change the regional accrediting bodies that were, because they fall under the Department of Education? That's why
That's what I
national.
was saying. That didn't make no sense to me. Like
It
you
makes
can
no
imagine
sense.
what I'm going through on the live screen, trying to explain. Like I don't know why they're trying to change their accreditation. If they change the accreditation, that means this school essentially, like not just this school, but schools across, like we said, the South. It's kind of like they have their own accreditors, which could be bad for the students because, like, if you do want to transfer from a 2-year college or yeah, a 2-year college to a 4-year, that can mess everything up because y'all can have two different accreditors but be in the same state. That can be
Mm-hmm.
mind blogging.
Yeah.
Like if it goes like, of course, oh well, if it's state, but if you go, oh, like let's say I'm on the line and I go to a 2-year college and I want to go to school in Alabama for example, and Alabama has a whole different accreditor now because they want to change the accreditor. That's how I was looking at it. And I was like, that don't make sense.
Yeah, and that's essentially what can happen. But that's what I'm saying. There's no line in the sand because it could be in the same state. You could have, like, I'm gonna use Columbus for example. You could
Mm-hmm.
have Columbus Tech under SACS, and you can have Columbus State under whatever is your creditor they want to be up under,
Oh
and
yeah,
these
you
schools on the same
can.
street.
Say it one more time, Sam.
I say, and these schools are on the same street, but under two different accrediting bodies in the same state.
Yeah, that's some game right there for y'all, man. Real
Like,
quick, if y'all made it this far and y'all play this bet, that's something to clip up because that's so true. That's like really true on that. Like, because I was looking at what's that school? It's very popular right now. Morris Brown. Morris
oh yeah,
Brown.
right.
Um, okay, from a higher education perspective, people think they got caught up in the wrong thing. First and foremost.
Mm.
First and foremost, they got caught up in the wrong thing. He got caught up in the wrong thing. Morris Brown still getting the S work together, first and foremost.
Mm.
And y'all know me, I get on us the most because we are black and we have to be real with ourselves. But they're coming around. But Morris Brown did not have their accreditation for a while. And I applied to them once they got their accreditation back. Personally, I didn't hear back, but I applied to them. And what I'm saying is Morris Brown is under accreditation. Their accreditation, I think, is like it's not part of SAS. I think. Let me make
I
sure
can't
that's
remember.
right. I
I
don't
know they
think.
got reaccredited. I can't remember who they got accredited by.
Yeah, I don't think they even under. Let me go to Google. If Sam beat me to it, we're gonna see though. We're gonna see who graduate program paid off the most. Uh,
Nope, they're accredited by
dang.
Trans Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools.
Yeah, yeah,
But
right here.
it is recognized by the Department of Ed though.
Okay, yeah. So in that regards, what we're getting at is if I went to Morris Brown and I transferred to like a Georgia State, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a high chance that it's a high chance, right? You would say, or intermediate. I'm gonna just say it's a high risk that some of those credits won't transfer as smoothly, right? Or they
It's
should transfer smoothly.
it's possible. Well, see, I don't really know anything about tracks. Um,
Right.
I I
Oh
can't
yeah,
say.
that's not a fair question to you, is it? Yeah, it's not a fair
I'm not sure
question
about
to
that.
you.
It could because it is accredited. It's recognized by the Department of Ed. I don't think they're a regional accreditation though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because if
Yeah,
they
'cause they
were
got it back in
regional accredited,
2022.
it would be with SACs.
And so
They got a
yeah,
comparison chart on their website.
they got a what?
A comparison chart, like the crosswalk between track
Oh, that's good.
and CLC.
That's good. And so yeah, we heard about the president at Morris Brown. And then
Yeah.
now it was crazy though. Like if he did, like I was like, well, he did make sense. He said he got it back under his leadership. And I was like, y'all got rid of him. Political guys, it happens at all universities
Yeah,
all the time.
up there with that one.
All the time. And the fact that he wanted to come back, shout out to him. Cause I would have took my talent somewhere else because it's a lot of I came across some things back. I was gonna say back in the day on past live streams about schools like fighting for their accreditation. Some actually was HBCU, some of them wasn't. And
Yeah.
then it was something else I was gonna ask you, but I guess I could say that for next time because we coming up on an hour and 30 minutes. And me and Sam could go for like more hours if we wanted to. I promise you we can. Like these topics just be coming, like they come. And we'll have more topics, of course, next week. I feel like we're gonna get some more stuff. But as me and Sam said, all this war stuff going on right now, ain't nobody really worried about college. People probably go to college so they can avoid wartime things, I guess. You know, guys. I'm in the reserve, guys, just to give you an idea. And I'm still here with you. So just giving you some perspective right there. But yeah, you got anything to say, Sam, before we go?
No, man. No. It was it was good. I had a good time, like I always do.
You had a good time. Now I'm glad you did, because you could have been like, I don't know. You could have been like, no political, no diplomatic things. Y'all know how to do, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I can flip a script real quick now.
And so, I guess we gotta put you on the spot. Will we have you next Friday, Sam?
That's a good question. Let me see.
We might not, because I'm gonna be in Valdosta this upcoming week for drill. But if Sam say he could do it, I am willing to do it.
Now I don't have anything on my schedule right this second. Well, okay, I'm good next Friday. I'm not good Friday after that. So
okay. So that next Friday is gonna be actually it's gonna be if I get released early, it's gonna be one of those situations. If I get released early and I feel like I can make it back in time and I'm not tired, we can hop on if you're available. I'm available. I'll be like, hey, you can hop on. If you can't, I'm tired anyway because I just came off the road, 4-hour drive. It's gonna be one of those moments because because they're gonna kick me out the hotel. Like people like, you gonna be in a hotel while you're at drill? Like, it's not a hotel. It's like sorry to give, if you are considering the Air Force Reserves, I'm sorry, but it's kind of like a motel. It's like on base though. It's like hotel, but depends on which one you get. It's one of those.
Motel, hotel, Holiday Inn.
Yeah, type of in between. Depends on what you get. One of those. And they kicked me out by 11 o'clock. Strong.
Oh man.
They call it at 10:30. Hey, you already packed up? You checking out? We haven't checked you out yet. Like, dang. So next Friday, hopefully we can get your friendly local neighborhood financial aid guy. If not, there's just gonna be more stories, guys, that we have coming up. Hopefully we get some breaking news on higher ed. There's always stories going on. Like we said, the problem we have is trying to make sure it's relatable, helpful, and making sure we picking the right ones to talk about. But I feel like we talked about some great information in this hour and 30, 31, 35, wherever we ended, because we might pick back up. When we said we was about to go, we might pick back up. You know how that goes, Sam. Like, so, but Sam said he has nothing else. I'm satisfied. I'm happy. I feel good because I don't get to talk to him like that, y'all. And like he said, he's been in the game for what you said, 14 years, 11 years.
11.
Okay, good. So I got him like for 9
Yeah,
more
yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah. It'll be 11.
I got his wisdom for like 9 more years before he'd be like, Henry, since I'm retired, I'm going to still go to conferences and keep myself informed, and we still can do the live streams. And I'm like, that's cool.
I keep trying to get out of financial aid here, but it don't never work.
You ain't getting out. You
I keep
financial
trying.
aid
I
for
tried
life.
at least 4 5 times.
Where you going to go,
I
Sam?
don't know.
Academic advising? What you going to go, Sam?
I don't know, man. I thought about advising. One of my degrees is in HR. I thought about that. I thought about what's the thing called? Marketing and dual enrollment. I thought about a lot of stuff, but I can't seem to get out of financial aid. I'm thinking I'm stuck there.
Yeah, I don't see nowhere else for me right now. At least I'm staying where I'm at as an advisor. I like it. I don't see myself going nowhere. Excuse me. I don't see it right now.
You'll be in that 10 years before you know it, like I will.
Right. 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 All right. All right. You gotta make sure that number look small. I'll be trying to make sure that number look small, be like an hour, and I'll be trying to make sure it a little small, like that hour 35 to hour 32, whatever. Cause they be like, I don't know, hour 31. What they talked about? Is it even helpful? That's too long. Guys, you don't have to watch the whole thing in one take. God, goodness gracious.
Better cut up the clips.
Yeah, cut up them clips. Yeah, we gotta cut up some clips. I be trying to get them clips, but I ain't gonna lie, we be live streaming so much. I'm like, you gonna have to, if you say, I don't know, because we be on this live screen. I be like, man, did I say that? Did he say that? I be like, shoot, I don't got no professional producer in here with me, like who could just find that clip and be like, oh yeah, you said that at 28 minutes into that live screen. We don't got that over here. We don't got those capabilities yet.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Appreciate you, bro. Big bro. Yeah, we had a great session about financial aid Fridays. We talked about some other topics too that relates back to financial aid and all that good stuff, good jazz. But honestly, how to save you money in higher education. Remember, I always say this at the end. Remember, started a 2-year, bridge to a 4-year under articulation agreements or pathway agreement. There's an agreement between the two schools. Like Sam said, if you don't want to waste the university's time, your time, take your gen eds at a 2-year. See where you can go. That's going to help transfer. Talk to the professionals because they can work. So hopefully, they can work something out like, yo, this school could be good. You should transfer smooth. If you worry about that, remember, whatever your dream 4-year is, hopefully you don't try to jam yourself up. Wherever your dream 4-year school is, see what articulation agreement, pathway agreements they have with 2-year colleges. I almost said the D word. Dang near every 4-year has a 2-year agreement or agreement with a 2-year or a state school. Some state schools are very affordable. 2-year state schools have very good agreements, partnerships with these universities. So even Ivy Leagues have them. We broke it down. We did an Ivy Leagues. And one girl transferred from California to Yale. I don't know what state Yale in. She went from a 2-year college, Sam, in Cali to Yale. Or I think it was Yale. I'm pretty sure it was Yale. It was one of them Ivy. I think it was Yale, though. And yeah, guys, just tools I didn't know, And I don't think Sam knew either, but we know now. So,
yeah.
So, you got nothing else, Sam, before we go? Nothing else?
No, man, I'm good.
Peace, chicken grease.
You left out the love part.
Oh, peace. Hold up. Wait.
Love in the middle.
Peace, love,
and chicken grease.
Chicken grease.
There you go.
Peace, love, chicken grease. Yes.